There's a popular anti-vegan argument growing that vegans are causing more harm to the planet by boycotting honey and using agave as the alternative. Apparently, agave is not vegan, and I have been using it all over in my cooking videos. But how can a product that comes from a plant suddenly not be vegan? And could agave really be killing bats? And if so, are vegans just hypocritical for using agave as a substitute for honey? All this and more coming up right now, so let's dive in. So firstly, why don't vegans consume honey? Honey is seen as plain unethical for these little critters. Beekeepers, you can say, are technically slave keepers, exploiting and abusing sentient animals for their benefit and stealing their food that they are naturally designed to eat when we don't need it in the first place. The queen bees are artificially inseminated right, and have their wings cut off so that they cannot escape. Beekeepers will use smoke to panic bees during harvesting, and some even burn hives alive during the winter season to reduce costs. But hey, let's say a bee stung you on the nose when you were young and everyone picked on you and called you Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and you just don't empathize with bees anymore because bees hurt you. Even if you don't empathize with bees, all of the diseases that these domesticated bees have developed through the harsh conditions that they're subjected to actually spread to the wild bees and put the wild bees populations at risk. Why is this important? Because in case you didn't know, if the wild bees go extinct, our entire world would collapse. Just like how you saw in my last video about how if fish go extinct, we would eventually too. It's all interconnected. So whether or not you like bees, you actually need them. Paying your dollar to the honey industry is bad for you, it's bad for them, it's bad for all of us to support. So honey is not as sweet as it sounds. It's literally a euphemism for bee vomit. Bee vomit nut Cheerios. Now let's talk about agave real quick, because how can agave even be leading to the death of bats? Well, actually, agave and bats have co-evolved for thousands and thousands of years. So agave farming and harvesting has been theorized to be disrupting the populations of about 3 kinds of bat species that feed on agave. But keep in mind, this is just a theory and not a fact. So to even say this as a fact to scapegoat the crazy vegans for killing bats is just full of shadow projection.
What is that? Back up. What that?
I mean, at least present the equally viable theory that the decline in bat populations could be attributed to cattle ranchers straight up declaring war on bats and sometimes killing entire populations in caves. A classic dairy industry move. See, then it would sound like that these people saying agave is bad for the bats actually do care about the bats rather than trying to just cancel vegans and use that lame rationalization to excuse themselves for not being non-vegan and consuming honey. But listen, let's just say that agave was the sole reason for the decline of bat populations and not the animal agriculture activities, causing the pollution and the deforestation and the cattle ranchers to kill entire bat populations in caves. I mean, I strongly believe that animal agriculture is highly responsible. But again, let's just say that agave is solely responsible. Are we just going to pretend that agave is the only option for vegans to consume? There are far more vegan sweeteners out there than non-vegan sweeteners. Liking this video, for example, is pretty sweet too. Keep in mind that this article bringing up the connection of agave leading to the decline in bat populations said it in the context of using agave to create tequila, not direct agave nectar. That's because there are much more tequila drinkers out there than vegans. But it's important to note that at the end they do mention that there are efforts being taken into account to allow some agave plants to flower and be fed to bats to protect their populations. Well, so now that we know it's more ethical to consume agave over honey, it's just a matter of time before someone comments,
"But Arjuni's honey is more healthier than agave, and I don't care about agave because I care about my health, and that's more important."
Shut up!
Yes, honey has been used as a medicine for thousands and thousands of years. And we've also killed each other for thousands and thousands of years, so I don't think that makes it right. But yes, honey does contain a lot of antioxidants. But guys, what doesn't contain antioxidants? Almost every Whole Foods plant-based product has plenty of antioxidants. So if you really want to eat something healthy, just get your nutrients from a better source than agave or honey. Because then you won't have to deal with all that dangerous fructose fructose accompanied by no fiber. You really gotta do your research before letting other people's opinions dictate big life decisions. Don't just consume honey because your entire social circle consumes honey. Always verify. I mean, it's okay to trust people, but just verify the information for yourself. And that's all I got for you. My name is Arjunius. Peace begins on your dinner plate.